As a child, he always seemed to have a pen or brush in his hand. By his teens, he was enrolled in traditional classes at the School of Art in his hometown of Bradford, England. But art wasn't a passing phase, quickly satisfied during youth. David Hockney felt that art was something you need a passion for. For him, it was to be the direction of a lifetime. The Royal College of Art in London was an exciting scene in the early 60s. The influence of an international avant-garde was firing the imaginations of young artists. Abstract expressionists celebrated the materials of art, the surface of the canvas, the stroke of a brush, the lush properties of paint. And a new movement, pop art, was emerging as artists elevated the ordinary into the subject matter of art. Aspects of both movements intrigued the young David Hockney, and he absorbed the lessons they offered. He wanted to acknowledge the act of painting, but he also longed to reproduce reality as he perceived it, and to paint the human figure. His solution was to employ the stylistic elements of abstraction, but to look to life for inspiration. Released from the pressure to do pure abstraction, he could now take something he saw or felt, an idea, a work of literature or poetry, and bring it to the canvas. And throughout, a spirit of playfulness and ironic humor touched the images. Hockney clearly recognized that all art is symbolic, that the canvas is a kind of stage, and a figure confined to the plane of a picture is trapped in the small space between art and life. The theatrical motif of the curtain appeared often, a reference to art as an illusion and to the rendering of volume as a flat form. "I will have nothing hang in the way, not the richest curtains," said Walt Whitman, one of Hockney's favorite poets. "What I tell for precisely what it is." So too did Hockney depict human relationships with honesty. The theme of homoerotic love was a somewhat daring one for the times, and in 1964, Hockney came to the city that promised the most freedom to celebrate that theme. But Los Angeles was to have an even greater influence on the imagery and form of Hockney's work. Its muted colors bathed in intense sunlight, Los Angeles presented to the eye real shapes and planes that could be read as two-dimensional. Hockney turned to the matte finish of acrylics to capture that searing light as it flattened volume and reflected in the elusive surfaces that were part of the California setting. Here was the blank allure of a virtually shadowless horizontal world. Some attempted to categorize Hockney at that time as the painter of swimming pools, but his was not the art of a single subject or a single style. Hockney continued to explore, as he put it, the full human drama meant to be talked about. Even his landscapes reveal the signs of people, ordinary human things made exceptional. A softer, more intimate element emerges in sensitive portraits of family and friends. His double portraits investigate the fragile balance of relationships, how couples assert and adjust themselves. said one curator, "They are like annunciations. There's always somebody who looks permanent and somebody who's kind of a visitor." Hockney was acquiring a mastery of many styles from the late 60s through the 70s, through his experiments with different media and techniques. As he divided his time among several countries, he was even known to examine museum paintings with a magnifier to learn more about brushwork and paint manipulation. Hockney separated his pictures into dramatic works, in which the balance was toward content, and technical works, in which the balance was toward form. He soon had the opportunity to test style and form in a new arena, designing theatrical sets. Hockney created many stage designs for operas. His sets responded to the music and librettos of each, with a freshness that delighted audiences, such as the cross-hatching that played on Hogarth's engravings for the Rake's Progress. Bold color areas for Les Mamelles de Tiresias and two other French operas. An interplay of light upon colored surfaces for Tristan and Isolde. As the 1980s approached, Hockney's attention was absorbed by another artistic puzzle, that of visual perspective, how we see. Hockney observed that Chinese landscape scrolls depict space in a way that takes time to see. And in the fractured planes of Picasso and the Cubists, he found a different recognition of how we see movement over time, what Hockney called intimate seeing. Photography, he thought, could be a medium for that Cubist principle. While he'd always used photographs to aid his memory as he painted, Hockney had been dissatisfied with photography as a medium of art because it froze time in a split second. But he felt that photo collages, his time-space studies, could compress full narratives into a two-dimensional plane. The earliest collages were created with Polaroids. Hockney later abandoned Polaroids for borderless 35mm prints, straying progressively farther from the confines of the rectangular frame, approximating the eye's wandering movement. Hockney's fascination was with what the eye and mind take in, how separate glimpses of a scene build over time into a continuous experience. The photographic work led to a desire to incorporate into painting the same principles of seeing, to create on canvas a view of the world seen over time. Recently, David Hockney's work has been marked by this passionate interest in representing the way we see. But as always, his explorations can take new and unexpected turns, such as producing original prints by means of an office copy machine. Whatever David Hockney has done or will do in the future, innovation is bound to be part of it. David Hockney's body of work stands as a singular invitation to look at everything with new perspective.